Today, you're going to learn real differences that separate average players from experts. And the final one is the reason some players improve in months while others stay stuck for years. Watch closely. Each shift is something you can start using today. Subscribe if you want to stop plateauing and start winning like an expert. Here's your chance to think like an expert and play like one. I've dropped you 10 seconds in the corner. You got 10 seconds to solve this puzzle. It's white to play, white to win, and it starts in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, how did you do? Let me know down in the comments below. Before we jump into the 10 daily puzzles, I want to welcome you back for day 29. It's the second to last day of the series, elevating your game with 303 tactical chess puzzles. I'm vryBot, a US certified chess coach and an international expert, and today I'm your guide to thinking like a strong expert. Your goal today is to understand exactly why experts consistently outplay the average opponent and how you can apply those same ideas now. So comment expert mode if you're ready for today's upgrade. Average players look at what's happening. Experts look at what's about to happen. Take this puzzle for instance. Were you able to solve it? Knight to e5. We're obviously attacking a rook. We're moving a piece into the center of the board, the most important place on the chessboard. And maybe you've noticed that we're also setting up some attacking schemes against the queen, since we have a rook on d1 that would pin the d7 pawn. That leaves this rook very little to go to. If he goes to g6, we're going to nab it up. This is a protected square by a bishop. It looks like we're attacking a very strong, valuable piece. Rook to f4, bishop takes. Rook to e4, queen takes. Rook to d4, bishop takes, pawn, knight, queen takes. Over here looks pretty safe, but that falls right for our trap, knight to c6. So let's back it up. So where can we go? Well, as Maurice Ashley likes to say, you always leave a weakness behind every time you make a move. In fact, our knight was guarding h4, so maybe the rook can hide out on h4. Now we're going to go ahead with our plan. Knight to c6, we're equalizing the material. I hope you did your material count. Although black does have 2 bishops, they can't last on the board. The queen has to stay hanging around the bishop. Then we're going to take, and in the end, we have this bishop to c5, which is attacking the queen and attacking the rook behind it. That's a skewer. If the pawn jumps in the way, we have this square covered too. So all the same will happen, and there's the end result. Did you handle that last puzzle like an expert or like an average chess player? Well, here's another chance for a confidence booster. This is work that was done in the previous day and previous video. You should already have your analysis prepared here and already have it down in the comments of yesterday's video. The key factors of the game. We have a lot of attack here. It doesn't seem like much. Usually we're going to count the attackers and the defenders. Here we have 1, 2, 3 attackers, and white has 1, 2, 3 defenders. In most cases, we can't just go ahead and capture something or even break through when we have less force involved. But here we can because of the value of the pieces. If queen takes, the bishop will take. So rook takes. Seems fair enough. It's the placement of this bishop in the end. We're liquidating and simplifying to an endgame so that we can regain our material. That was the pawn on f2. We were down a pawn. I hope you guys are doing the method, counting the material, looking for checks, captures, and threats. And in the end, we're actually forking the king and another pawn. So we're going to beat up a pawn in a rook endgame. That's not too tough to win. We have these 3 majority versus these 2 in the end, where all else remains equal. Not to mention an active rook. Make sure you stay with me throughout the course of this video. I'm going to be handing out key pieces of information little by little. For instance, what is it that experts are doing that average players aren't doing as well? Well, one thing is that experts visualize 2 to 3 moves ahead before committing to anything. They'll even try to go further and beyond that. They also evaluate forcing moves first, and they identify what their opponent wants and stop them from doing that. Take this position, for instance. I would like you to pause the video, calculate as far as possible without moving pieces, and then drop your response in the comment section down below. Have a moment for pausing, and then I'm jumping right into the answer. 1, 2, 3. All right. Did you find the breakthrough? The key move is d4. King can't take. It is check. Now it might look like the simple loss of a pawn. In fact, it is. If we just capture here and king takes, we're in big trouble. What we've got to do is continue with the follow-up, c3. This is a breakthrough. Why? Because we have this outside pass pawn who's been blocked. He's been biting on some granite right here. It's time for that granite to make a threat. If he takes, we're going to push right past. That seems easy enough. So, what if the king attacks? Well, the problem is this pawn is fast. He's going to the touchdown line, and that's going to be it. What else can white do? They can try to guard this section of the board. But watch what happens. Takes. If pawn takes, we know that this pawn is too fast. We take over here. We stop everything that's going on the side of the board. And you're going to notice that the theme is exactly the same in several variations. We're going to push this pawn as a decoy and a distraction. And as soon as the king commits to capturing or guarding one, we're going to push the other. You can't stop 2 advanced passed pawns. Kings can only stop 1. A small takeaway from what we just saw is that average players would calculate everything from scratch. Experts recognize structures instantly. Pins, forks, weak squares, king safety patterns, even classic blunders. And in that case, the 2 passed pawns is something that needs to be in your subconscious. How do you get that experience? Do a ton of puzzles. That's what we're doing now. Stay with me. Here we go again. And these are some tactics that you can spot pretty easily. This one is not too tough. Rook takes g7. Why? Because we're capturing a piece, getting it off the board, and black has to respond. In fact, they have to respond in a way that's really good for us. We're pulling the queen a little bit further from the bishop and the king's area. That means we can go and play rook takes. Why? Are you sure? Well, look at the end. Yes, we have a queen and a bishop battery, and the king has very little to go. But we're not actually going for the light squares and all this. We're going to run out of attack. There's not enough attack going on that side. We're going to head over to b7, snap up a pawn. We're hitting the king and the rook, and depending on where the king goes, we're also skewering the queen. So he can go back, lose a rook, go forward again, and then we trade down to the end. This is simple. He can't stop it. We're forcing, we're simplifying, and then we're going to go gobble up some more pawns. Our king's going to come out to this square and push all these central pawns. Then we can do the Ben Feingold, get every piece back, and then just put them back on the original squares. That'll be fun. You see, experts spot recurring tactical themes, and they recognize common attacking structures. So what does that mean? I guess you could say experts don't memorize moves, they memorize ideas. As many as possible. I'm sure you've seen this idea already, knight to f6. But why does it work in this specific situation? Well, first of all, we're attacking the king and we're leaving him very few places to go to. If he goes to the side, the whole back rank situation is a huge problem. Not to mention bishop to g8 falls to queen to g8, thanks to our knight who's now living on the f6 square. And the knight is no help on either one of these squares. We just take him up and force the exchange of the next one. So this knight must be captured. Now here, knight to h6 brings in attacking force with a check. King to g7 or h7. Now we have a defender to help us attack on f7. So the king is pushed even further, either further back or further forward. I think Danya has said a few times, In the Russian school, he has heard that I'd rather die with a full belly. He said that a few times. Queen takes f6, gobbling up as much material as we want before recapturing the piece, being up 2 passed pawns. And better than the situation we were in earlier, these are connected passed pawns. You probably hear me using all kinds of terms as I'm talking about the chess game, the moves, the tactical motifs, and the geometry of the piece activity. It's time for you to start learning those, categorizing them, and calling upon them throughout every chess game. You're going to call upon that in dialogue and discuss with yourself. As you're sitting there thinking, producing a move, this is the discussion you're going to be having with yourself. Oh, I can fort, pin, skewer, double attack, block. All these terms should be coming up in your mind over and over again. Experts do this. Average players ask, what can I do this move? Experts ask, what's the best plan for this position? Based on all of the knowledge of chess. Here, you've got to move fast. This guy's coming in, you're going to get checkmated if you don't do something fast. We're 1 move away from promoting, and I don't see any really good checks that don't lose a piece. We have queen h3 and queen g3. But when you have what you have, that's all that you have. Queen to g3 is a really good move. King takes. What happens if he goes back? Well, we're going to promote with either a rook or a queen and mate the guy. So let's go back. Take the queen. We're bold. Well, now white's in really big trouble, obviously. On this, we have a standard ladder checkmate. On check, king to h3, we're going to kick the king off that rank, knock him off the side of the board, and then throw a rook to the very back row. That'll do it. An expert must know when to simplify and when to complicate as well. And if you want personalized help building plans, check the coaching link in the description. Now let's put this idea into practice right away. You might have seen this little maneuver before. Check, discovery, check, and then a mate. Similar to that type of motif, but not working in this position because of the bishop on e6. Sometimes you can spot simple things that you've seen before, but we also use these ideas to our advantage by improving upon them for specific situations. Wait until you see this brilliant move. Check, bishop to f5. What we're doing is not actually going after the bishop. What we're actually doing is blocking the queen's access to f6. Why? Let's continue calculating. Check. King moves over, his only place to go. Check. King moves down, and now it seems that we have nothing. The whole back row is covered. We do have this. Our bishop's on pre. We are down a rook and pawns, and our queen's under attack. This can't be a good situation unless you spot pawn takes f6. Checkmate! Checkmate on the board! There's nothing more satisfying than checkmate with a pawn. So now for a quick mini coaching segment. Predict threats before they appear. Look for patterns before calculating. And build plans instead of just chasing moves. Master those habits and stop playing like a frustrated intermediate player. Start playing like a developing expert. And subscribe to the channel if you want these skills drilled into your play every day. Are you ready? This next one is where expert thinking really begins. And what we're about to witness is another unstoppable attack. If you can find the plan, you must find the plan. You have to use everything in your arsenal to find the plan. On to e5. What? Blocking the fianchettoed bishop. I hear average players all over the earth screaming at me. Beginner players are furious and frustrated. Why on earth wouldn't you just take the pawn? Well, because I'm trying to checkmate white. It's another unstoppable attack. Undeniable, you can't stop it. Let's see how it works. Queen captures d8. That's actually white's best move. Let's say white pretends they have a game. Let's just do this. I'm going here and here next, okay? Now you see the problem? In fact, I don't even care if you take my rook. I'm just going to scoop my king over to h7, sit there, and continue my plan. Plans are so important in chess. Okay, is there any move to stop Black's plan? Well, I told you it's unstoppable, undeniable. But let's take a look at some computer evaluations. How about king h1? That seems most logical. We go over, he takes our rook, we hide. We know this. Rook comes over to stop us, but then f3 is also weak. And now that leaves only one unfortunate little place to put the rook in the way, and we're going to take it anyway. I really do want to see the comments on this one, so post your analysis down below. Now stay with me. This is a great position where even the average player thinks they have everything under control, but you still have to be precise. We are capable of so much in this position, so we really got to dig underneath it and understand it before we play our move. First of all, we have a discovery. We can put this knight one of two places that will create a double check. In case you forgot, a double check is when you attack the king with two pieces, and that means he can't fight both of them. You can't take both pieces off the chessboard. You can't build a fence for both pieces. That means he can't block. Two pieces are coming at you. He's gonna have to flee in every situation. That means run away. Discovered double check is actually the strongest tactic in the game of chess, in my opinion. Destroying defenses from 3 down to 1. All we have to do is pick the right spot. Our queen's under attack. Their queen's under attack. We're down material. Whose king is more exposed, white or black? Because we have such an amazing opportunity, we're going to have to play knight to g7. After calculation, I argued a little bit with the position. I said, oh no, he's just going to get 3 pieces for the queen. If I take here and he takes there, this knight is also hanging with check. The queen's coming off the board, and we still have a rook. We could simply castle and continue the rest of the game with easy open lines. And we arrive to the secret puzzle of the day, the daily puzzle. I won't be giving the answer, but you guys will give me the answer in the comments below. I'll verify with you, analyze with you, run dialogue and discussion with you, no problems. In fact, I'd love to see how you handle this position. For the first person to send me the analysis and solve of this situation here, I will tell you what the most important difference between average players and experts are in the comments. When I see your comment, you're going to see my comment next. And that will bring us to the bonus puzzle for day 29. This puzzle I will be solving with you, but we'll be doing it on screen in the next video. Until then, you have a chance to analyze this and drop all your analysis down in the comments below. Comment first if you actually solve it first, and good luck. If you want to think like an expert, start with predicting, recognizing patterns, planning, and those 3 skills will change your game, guaranteed. Check the daily secret puzzles and bonus puzzles from previous days to practice this skill. And if you want customized game analysis, my one-on-one coaching links are in the description. You can also hire me directly from vryBot.com. That's vryBot.com. Click on services, brings you to the coaching service. Click on a link, hire me right away. If you have questions or concerns, make sure you sign up for Discord, a free service, and that's where our coaching calls are going to be made. Your questions and concerns can be sent on the email form as well. Thank you for being here. The series is coming close to an end, and we're becoming more and more of a chess machine. Keep on grinding, and GG's! See you in the next video.